Okay, y'all, so we're gonna make some caramelized pecans to put on top of the carrot cake. I'm not gonna necessarily put pecans in the carrot cake, but I am gonna dress it with some caramelized pecans. So I went to Sam's and I got a whole thing of half pecans, so you could just get you some. And we're gonna chop them up, roughly chop them, but you can already get them in bite-sized pieces if you want to. But the reason why I got them whole, because I'm gonna put some whole pecans on top and we're gonna have some roughly chopped ones. So it's very easy to do that. You're just gonna take a sharp knife and you're just going to basically chop them up. Chop them up just like you would chop up anything else of these pieces. So I like a carrot cake. I usually make carrot cake, you know, carrot cake is good in the fall. Well, it's good any season, but it's a good fall dessert. And also it's good like around Easter time. I like to make carrot cake as well. So yeah, and with our carrot cake, we're gonna do a maple cream cheese frosting. So it's gonna be yummy to our tummy. And my name is Shay. So let's get started on here. So I've roughly chopped up the pecans. So I'm gonna put them in a bowl because this will be kind of like our garnish. And then I'm just gonna put some whole ones in here as well. So we'll have these roughly chopped to place on there kind of as a garnish on the cake, as well as I'm gonna use a few whole ones that we're gonna caramelize, and I'm just gonna put those in the bowl too, because that can be also part of our decoration. So half a stick of butter. We're gonna go ahead and let that melt down, and then we're gonna add our pecans. Okay, y'all, so we got it nicely melted butter. So now we're gonna add a half a cup of Divine Cuisine sugar spice. And we're gonna turn down the heat to maybe medium-low heat because we don't want the butter to burn. But we want this to get all nice and mixed and melt together. We're gonna put a pinch of salt and just a little pinch of cayenne. You don't want it hot, it is just a little pinch of that. You don't want to taste the heat, but it gives it a nice good flavor. And so we're gonna let all that melt together, and then we're gonna add our pecans to the mixture. So we're gonna add the whole ones and the chopped ones. And we're just gonna let all this goodness of the butter, the Divine Cuisine brown sugar, the salt, and a pinch of that cayenne all to mix together. And I have this on now on like medium to medium high heat. And you just want all this to kind of melt together. I'm gonna add a little more sugar spice to it, just a little more. Don't worry, I'll have the exact measurements at Divine Cuisine. So if you ever want to find like a written part of my recipes, go to divinecuisine.com and all the recipes will be on my website under recipes. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and just let this kind of cook and simmer a little bit. And then once that's done, we're gonna let this sit and cool while we go ahead and make the cake. Okay, y'all, so now we're getting ready to make the first part of, we're gonna do the wet ingredients for this carrot cake. So we have 4 eggs. Put 4 eggs in here. We have sugar. And I'm gonna go ahead and we have Divine Cuisine sugar as well. So that would be used for like your brown sugar, but you're not gonna have to put your cinnamon or nutmeg or anything like that in here. It's already in the sugar spice. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna combine these wet ingredients together. Okay, and now I'm gonna add, we're gonna add some oil. So I have peanut oil. You You can use whatever oil you want to use, olive oil, canola oil, vegetable, but I don't use those oil. Well, I use olive oil, but I have peanut oil. I don't use canola or vegetable oil. And then I'm gonna use a half a stick of butter. So that was a half a cup of peanut oil, and then we have a half a cup of butter. And then I'm gonna add some caramelized ginger in there. So this is my secret ingredient. And then we have carrots. And this is probably about 2 cups of carrots. So we're gonna add the carrots in here as well. I'm gonna mix all this together. I'm gonna probably stir it at this point. All together. And then we're gonna do some vanilla. So I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we're gonna stir this in. So at this point, I'm gonna start folding everything in. So we're gonna put that to the side and we're gonna start on our dry ingredients. So now we have our dry ingredients that we're gonna use. So I've already sifted our flour, so I'm using cake flour, but I went ahead and sifted it again just to make the cake a little more light and airy. And then we have baking powder, baking soda, and some salt that we're gonna add to the flour. And then we're just gonna whisk that all together just for it to get all together in our cake flour. But you don't have to use cake flour. You can use regular flour if you want to. And this is about, I believe it's about 2 cups, but like I said, the recipe will be at DivineKuizine.com with all the measurements. And then we're gonna take our wet ingredients. So you just mixing everything in. You don't want to over mix, but you want to, this gives you a little arm room, a little arm exercise. Whew, trying to get everything in. That means I need to work these arms a little more. Okay, y'all, so I have 2 8-inch pans here that we're gonna use for the cake mixture. So we've already well combined everything together. I'm just gonna lightly oil them. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna lightly flour the pan. So I put a little bit of oil and you just go around like so, just to kind of lightly flour it. You kind of want to eyeball it evenly in there. You know what I mean? Okay, so I have my 2 9-inch cake pans that I'm going to go ahead and put in the oven at 350 degrees for about 42 to 48 minutes, depending on how hot your oven gets. So I'm going to start at 42, but we may go to 48 minutes. We're just going to start there and see. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. So we're getting ready to make this cream cheese maple frosting. So I have some cream cheese, 8 ounces, and then we have a stick of butter, maple syrup, 2 tablespoons, or teaspoons rather, of vanilla. We're gonna go ahead and mix this, and then we're gonna put our powdered sugar in there. So a little bit at a time, all at once. And there we have it. Cream cheese, maple cream cheese frosting. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this to the side, and when the cake is cool, we're gonna go ahead and frost the cake. And so now we're getting ready to assemble, decorate the cake. So I took out the cream cheese frosting, the maple cream cheese frosting that we had. I'm just gonna plop it on here, y'all. So, to it, y'all, get into it. Let me know what y'all's favorite cakes are. What kind of cake do you like to make for fall, you know? Let me know in the comments, because then I could make one of those cakes that you would want me to see. So what is your favorite cake? Now we're getting ready to dress it with our pecans that we use, the DivineKuizine sugar spice. Divine Cuisine sugar spice. So we have, I'm gonna take them and I'm just gonna kind of trail around it, no particular way. Hey y'all, we have finished our carrot cake with our cream cheese, maple cream cheese frosting and our caramelized pecans using the Divine Cuisine sugar spice. So I can't wait to go in and taste. It's good, y'all. It's moist. That cream cheese is on point. Sweet enough, but not too sweet. The cake, you can taste that caramelized ginger, the carrots, the warm spices of like, you know, with the sugar spice, how you have the cinnamon, you have the cardamom, you have the nutmeg, it all in here. So we didn't have to like teaspoon of this, teaspoon of this. You just use this, how you see it in the recipe. And let me get some of these caramelized pecans on top, because I just garnished them with it. I didn't put pecans in the cake. And that's good because it gives it another texture. You know, you have that crunchy texture from the caramelized pecans. It's a must-make cake. It's really easy. Carrot cake is really easy to make. Basically, your flour, your carrot, you know, you're wet and dry, just like any other cake. A few ingredients. This baked, I did a 9-inch 2-layer cake, so it baked for in my oven. I started at 42, but really I finished at 35 in my oven. Great cake, nice and moist. To get this recipe, the full recipe will be on DivineKuizine.com. My YouTube fam. So we did this carrot cake together. Make sure you let me know what kind of cake you want next for me to make. You know, what are other different fall desserts that you would like, and what is your favorite cake to make? I'm gonna go in for some more carrot cake. Love y'all. Chef Shay.